Hi. Welcome in. Hey, Rubber Ramada room. Crime Time with Sheila here. We are on day 4. I'm sorry. I'm a day ahead of myself. Today is September 26th. It is 1 o'clock. It is not 3 o'clock. I almost said it's 3 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And we are on day 3 of Mississippi versus Jeffrey Spence. And we have interesting news today. Look, I'm not even reading. Denise over here says, press play already. And see, I got Hector playing in the background, so we're going to have to listen to that for just a little bit. So I'm going to mute as soon as I get started. But anyway, so with Mr. Jeff Spence, we do know that his daughter testified against him yesterday. And I believe Caitlin Spence is going to be our first witness. So I'm going to bring TCN up. We're going to get rolling. I have to leave in about 45 minutes to go to the dentist. But I will be here in and out, in the background, but I'll be here. But she's going to do the pausing and the playing. So we're going to just start rolling because Denise is anxious. So we're just going to roll. So Denise is excited. I'm excited too, because I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. I just know that it's coming up. So I'm going to hit play. And I'm going to get everything started.
Anything about the case? If you have any problems in that regard, let me know. I've noticed juries is a whole lot like church. I don't guess nobody assigns seats in church, but I sit in the same place every Sunday, and y'all do too anyway. You got just your home there, but
we're still with the good old boys.
If everybody's ready, who would state call as the next witness?
Your Honor, can we approach just for 1 second?
All right.
You think he's been in jail the whole time, or is he out on bond?
No, he's been in jail. He's been in jail. Mm-hmm. He's been in jail. And now that Karen's testifying, because she was in jail up until, I believe it was the 20th was when she gave her. Let me look it up while they're doing their thing. But I think, let's see. On September 20th is when she took her 10-year prison plea with 5 years non-supervised after. So that was just September 20th.
I seen a picture of her and Mom in jail together. They took a picture. Oh, I'll have to find it for you. I was just going through Google yesterday.
Yeah, so she's going to have serve 10 years, and then she'll have a 5 years.
10 years is a long time. She's not a young pup.
Right.
Ugh.
I thought we were ready. Okay. I'll get ready. The state calls next witness.
Your Honor, the state is called Carolyn Aguayo.
Carolyn Aguayo.
Karen who?
Come around, face the court reporter, be sworn in, please. And sit that mic, so.
Yes, sir.
You solemnly swear or affirm that testimony about
But I must have misunderstood.
and nothing but the truth have done.
And if you can speak as
I was wrong.
close into that microphone as possible.
Is that Cassie, the sister?
All right.
So her name was Karen.
I'm hoping that buzz will leave. I think it is this.
I'm sorry, Denise. I might have lied.
All right. Can you tell the jury who you are?
I'm Carolyn Aguayo. I'm Jeff Spence's daughter.
Okay.
Oh.
Where do I'm not going to ask you where you live, and there's a reason for that.
Mhm.
Can you tell the jury why you don't want to tell the world where you live?
I've I've come here to help stop what has been going on for decades. But I have requested that where I live, how many children I have, any of that is not mentioned. I have moved several times. Sorry, I've got a little allergy stuff going on. I've moved several times. Once you leave a criminal family, you watch your back all the time. You move if you need to move. You protect in whatever way you need to protect. No social media, things like that. You are guarded. Once you realize that you've done something wrong to the family, you've betrayed the family, you have not been loyal the way you've been raised,
I want to enter an objection to whatever it is that this is referring to. There's nothing.
I'm gonna boost the sound a little. Hold your ears while I do adjusting, guys.
That has been ever substantiated about what she said. Nothing.
I would ask,
I'm gonna back up that objection so we can hear and make sure we hear that correctly.
Objection to whatever it is that this is referring to. There's nothing that has been ever substantiated about what she said. Nothing.
I would ask that you reply to.
It's narrative.
Don't give a narrative. Reply to questions and answers so that we can have time to get. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Was it always that way?
No, not at all.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Brookfield, Pennsylvania, a little farm outside of Brookfield, Pennsylvania.
Okay. And who is your father?
Jeff Spence,
Who is your mother?
Karen Spence.
And do you have any siblings?
I have one older sister, Caitlin Spence.
Okay. Now, I believe y'all are fairly close in age. Is that
Yes.
correct?
We're a year apart. She's 1 year older than me.
If I'm remembering correctly, Caitlin was born in 86, or was that,
Yes, Caitlin was born in 86,
and you were born?
the next year.
Okay. Now, normal childhood, soccer, school. Where'd you go to college?
I mean, normal childhood might be a little off, but I mean, as far as I've been in, dealing with this sort of thing even since I was growing up. You know, as far as game commissions that had to come to our house.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I didn't hear that. Please.
I wouldn't exactly describe my childhood as a normal childhood. Having game commissioners come to the house, having my dad cited for bad business practices.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Everything that's coming out of this young woman's mouth is it's trash, Judge. Nothing.
I couldn't unmute fast enough. Did you hear what he just said? Everything coming out of this woman's mouth is trash. Sorry.
Well, and why is she acting like?
I don't know, but why are they being so rude to her right off the bat?
Well, she says from a family of criminals. Oh, come on. I mean, obviously he's a really good criminal to not get caught until 5 years ago. Come on.
Look, Renee's even got some shocked look on her face. You go, Renee.
I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not going
either.
to say the man's innocent, but I just don't think
I'm having
he was
trouble
alone.
Right. I'm having trouble seeing the evidence point directly at all him. But
I mean, we got diamond dealers. We've got motorcycle gangs. Come
and,
on.
and you know the drug passing around.
Yeah. And then to not have any drugs found in his system,
Yeah, and had none on.
that
Yeah,
blew my mind.
right.
All right. Well, let's go.
Let's go.
Um,
Yes, please.
mhm.
Everything that's coming
She's
out of this
snooty.
young woman's mouth is just, it's trash, Judge. No, nothing substantiated, it's all just trash.
Where did you go to college?
Grove City College in Pennsylvania.
And what did you finish college?
I did. I double majored in early childhood and elementary education.
All right. After you got your degree, did you get a job in that field?
I did. I've taught for several years.
Okay. Where was that?
So after I graduated college, I went to New Zealand for a short period of time, just to see how they did early childhood there. My professors always raved about the early childhood programs there. So I did a little time in New Zealand, but then when I came back, I moved right away to North Carolina. I didn't want to be any part of.
We object to relevance of what goes on in New Zealand and
It's just right around your mouth.
I'm gonna let that go. Go ahead.
All right. So you moved to North Carolina.
I moved to North Carolina. I didn't want to be in Pennsylvania. Didn't want to be near any of it.
Understood. Where in North Carolina did you move?
I moved to, I first went down to Wilmington, North Carolina, and then I got a job a little further south. So it's a little area called Oak Island. So I taught in a school there near Oak Island.
All right. Are you married?
Yes,
When did you get married?
2014.
And who did you marry?
Giovanni Awayo.
Everyone gets quiet. I wonder if everyone stops in the streets too.
Whose cell phone's ringing?
Oh, I thought it was the bells.
No, somebody's cell phone's ringing. That's
Oh,
When did you marry Giovanni Aguayo?
June of 2014.
Did y'all live on Oak Island, North Carolina together?
Yes.
And what did he do? What at that time, what was he doing employment-wise?
At that time, he was a Marine.
Marine? Now then, did Jeff and Karen, your mother and father, move in with y'all?
Yes. So we got married in June 2014. My parents had talked about wanting to move, with us settling down, and they moved in with us in about August of 2014. They were going to look for a place down there.
All right, so they move in with you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a conversation with Giovanni about that decision for them to move in with y'all?
Object to that conversation, Judge.
I'm not asking for the conversation. I'm just asking if they had a conversation.
That's, I'll allow that.
Yes, Gio has a very big heart.
Don't tell me what he said. Did y'all have a conversation about your mother and father moving in with y'all, being newly married?
Yes, we were.
Okay.
They were going through bankruptcy, so we felt like we could help them out.
Right. Okay. So your father was going through bankruptcy, having money problems, and y'all wanted to help him out. Is that correct?
He had to file for bankruptcy. He had a case with Jim Riddle where he had embezzled $100,000 from his business partner.
We object to anything that's coming from this witness.
I'll sustain.
Is she talking about her dad embezzling $100,000? What? What? Damn. Oh, what?
Bankruptcy, he had a case with Jim Riddle where he had embezzled $100,000 from his business partner.
We object to anything that's coming from this witness.
I'll sustain that objection and ask the jury to disregard anything that they heard about that anyway.
Okay. Don't add to the question.
Okay, sorry.
Ask the question, answer the questions asked and stop there.
All right. So if I understand correctly, you've testified that you wanted your mother and father to move in because they were having financial trouble in August of 2014.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how long did they stay with y'all?
They ended up saying 2 years.
All right. And during that period of time, did yourself and your husband help them get on their feet financially?
Yes, they weren't paying rent. We had given them one of our cars and the insurance on the cars. We did groceries. We were trying to help them get back on their feet, trying to help them recover and kind of have a fresh start. And again, we were just trying to help them.
Was your mother ever employed during that period of time?
No.
Okay. Did your father ever have any meaningful employment during that period of time?
He did not have a job. He had started or tried to start a vegetable farm with a gentleman down there.
All right. So he tried to start a vegetable farm.
Yes.
And did he talk to anybody about investing in that?
He had an investor that invested $20,000 in starting it.
Okay. Do you know anything about whether that investor was able to realize any kind of return on that investment?
He had
Hold
to
on,
take
before
it.
you answer, I think there will be an objection.
Same objection we had before. Talking about something we have no substantiation of.
I'll sustain the objection.
All right. Don't talk about the investor anymore. Pursuant to the ruling of the court. All right. Now, at some point, did yourself and Gio decide to move to Virginia?
Yes. Gio got a job in Virginia.
All right. Was it with the Marines?
No, he'd gotten out of the Marines.
Okay. You can tell the jury what his new employment, new career was going to be.
Okay. He was going to be working for the federal government in a very similar capacity for what he had did with the Marines. But he was going to be on the civil side now. He served his years in the Marines, and now he had the opportunity to do security policing with the federal government.
All right. So did you buy property and a home in Virginia?
When we first moved there, we rented, but then we did buy a cabin in Virginia.
Okay. Where in Virginia?
Orange, Virginia.
Okay.
Charlottesville area.
All right. And is that the property that y'all bought? Is that where you and Giovanni were planning to build a cabin kit for your mother and father?
So, as you can imagine, we lived with them for a while. Everybody was kind of ready for their own space. But we, again, we wanted to make sure they were on good footing. And we offered to, we had 10 acres with the cabin. So we offered to separate off a little land and do like a simple, like less than $100,000 cabin type kit, kind of a little mother-in-law suite type thing, with just having them have their own house though, but just down the lane. The idea was grandma and grandpa would be down the lane.
Who was going to pay for that? kid?
Well, with them being in bankruptcy, we were gonna, the agreement was that we would get the loan, but they would have to make the mortgage payments.
Judge, and ask you to instruct the jury to stop, tell Mr. Wyatt, stop talking about bankruptcy. There's nothing in this case about bankruptcy. There's been no substantiation.
I'll give it a mistake.
Your Honor, I think it's already been established that he was in bankruptcy as the reason that he moved in with Jeff and Gio.
I think the defendant's financial situation was relevant in this case anyway. I'm going to allow it.
There's been no substantiation of any bankruptcy ever of this man, except what's just now come out of this witness.
You can look on the federal PACER system.
I think that this is a daughter. I think she has knowledge of it. I'm going to allow the testimony.
Okay, so we were talking about the yourself and your husband putting the money up for the kit to build a mother-in-law, father-in-law house on your property. With that loan from the bank, certain requirements about construction, were there building codes that had to be followed, things of that nature?
Yes, so in the build, you have to do one step at a time. You have to do it correctly. Everything's got to be insured. All the contractors have to be okayed. Everything has to be a certain way for you to get the next amount of money from the loan to be released. So if you do the first step wrong, like you're already in trouble as far as being able to finish the house.
To be able to go to the next phase and prove that everything was done by code.
Correct.
All right. Did your father interfere with that?
Yes, so he wanted to kind of, make himself the general contractor, if you will, of the project. Well, you have a full-time job, Gio has a full-time job, I'll help out in this way. The problem that we ran into was paperwork. It was all word of mouth, well, so-and-so didn't call me back, or I got this bid, and we said, well, where's the bid? There was nothing on paper, and that wasn't going to be working, because we had to turn everything into the bank again in order to move on with the next step. So there started to be arguments where we're like, hey, we've been clear, somebody has to write us up. If we're going to get a well driller, we have to have a contract. We have to have his license number and know that he's insured, and we have to have all of that in order to turn that in to the bank, and then they okay it, that we can move forward with digging a well for the house. So that was the sort of thing that started where we started arguing over things, and we're getting upset at each other because Gio and I were trying to go by the book, and he was trying to just, well, this will work. This guy's been in the town for 30 years, and he's done this before.
All right, and let's just put a pause on that line of questioning for right now. Can you tell the jury, when y'all were home, did y'all watch TV together?
Yeah, we, initially, again, we didn't know that, other things were going on. We thought we were doing the right thing. We thought we were helping. We would watch a lot of movies together.
What kind of TV programs did your father enjoy watching?
We watched things like Breaking Bad, Blacklist. We watched
This is relevant.
Soon to be relevant.
Okay. So we would watch a lot of movies, and that Jeff always likes to dialogue. So one of the things, initially that kind of perked me up to like, this is odd. We were watching a movie, and he said, oh, well, if I was ever going to have to kill someone, I'd use a shotgun. And that's because you wouldn't have to worry about the casing.
Who said that?
My dad.
Okay.
What's the good?
Jeff Spence,
Your father?
my dad.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Now, when families sit down and watch TV shows together, do they normally take notes about what's going on?
No, I mean,
Did your father do that?
so normally people would just watch a show like that for entertainment, but Jeff learns from them.
I'm sorry.
Jeff learns from them.
How do you know that? Do you have?
Because he discusses everything. Like even with himself, he'll have long conversations. He'll practice things. That's something I even saw in my childhood. You know, he'd have an argument with a business partner, and he'd be pacing the floor that night and
Relaying it to some program?
Again, with something like Breaking Bad, like most people would watch that and be terrified. Like, that's not normal life for most people. That's not something like, oh, hey, that was a good idea.
When he said that about using a shotgun, did he say anything about the projectile or the shell casing?
Yeah, the whole idea with a shotgun is it's harder to trace.
Specifically, did he say anything about the shotgun shells? Do you recall?
Yes, a shotgun shell is huge. I'm sure most of you know that. You're not going to be looking around for little bullet casings, and that's if you have to shoot more than once. And that was his comment as well, if you only have to shoot someone once, the casing doesn't even come out. Now, if you end up having to shoot again, then, at least you're looking for something that big.
Okay. Now then, in general, the condition of the property that you had on the curtilage or the yard around the driveway, that area, I'm not talking about the house or the cabin, talking about the land. How much land did you have?
It was 10 acres, almost entirely wooded.
Okay.
We were back in the woods, and
did you have a gate around that property?
we had a gate that went into our backyard and back into the woods behind our house.
Okay. Now, did tensions arise between yourself and your father about how he used that yard, that property?
Yeah, so as we were building, as I mentioned, some arguments started about doing things the right way. Jeff has always tried to make money off of little things, like, oh, come pick up this tractor, I'm just trying to get rid of it. And then, so he'd bring that to the land, and then he'd try and sell that. So we started having people coming onto our land, like looking for Jeff, and all the while we're trying to build a house. We didn't want anyone in a construction zone where somebody could get hurt. Then all of a sudden we're getting sued because somebody got hurt that never should have been on the property in the first place. So these are the things that we started worrying about as a young couple, that, hey, we're not protected. I'm a teacher, he's a police officer. We're not full of cash. If somebody gets hurt, we're in trouble. So those arguments kept happening. And one particular discussion, I was pregnant at the time, so I had gone into the house to use the bathroom, and I came back out came to the window, and I saw that Gio and Jeff were having an argument. They were both talking loud, and I saw Jeff step to Gio, and I could see in his eyes, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And he stepped back, so he thought better of it. And that,
Relevance, Judge, relevance. We're talking about an argument
Let's move on.
from 19 or 20.
well, this is where my husband was
Hold on one
threatened.
second, let them finish.
So,
Hold on 1 second.
Let's, we've got much of a rambling, testimony, that needs to be more.
Specific, non-narrative.
It's hard to me to, it's hard for me to referee or grasp on that. And also, just try to get specific questions and specific answers.
All right.
I understand.
And if I understand your testimony correctly, you've got a loan for $100,000 or around $100,000 for this cabin kit, correct?
It turned into $178,000
Okay.
by the time Jeff was done.
And that was being put in jeopardy by Jeff not following the code, cutting corners and that kind of thing?
Right. The ball was already rolling. There was no way of stopping it at that point. We were in it.
Just in the way we're going to do it, I'm going to ask you a question, yes or no, and then if I need you to explain, I'll ask.
Okay.
If that's okay.
That's fine.
All right. So, in addition to that, did your dad? He just acquired junk. Is that
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Can you briefly tell the jury about that?
It's part of not wanting to work. It's a laziness. You're trying to make money off of nothing.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll sustain the objection.
All right.
Move on.
I'll move on.
okay.
Did that interest that your father have result in a bunch of junk in your yard?
Yes, we had to clean, we had to remove tons. I think it ended up being 3 tons of junk off of our property to clean it off after we got him out.
Okay. Now then, was there a conversation that you, your husband, and your father had where all of this came to a head?
Yes,
Where was that conversation? Where did it take place and when?
McDonald's, he didn't want my mom present.
Okay. What did you explain to your dad about the situation and what was his response?
We tried another sit down where we said, look, we have to do this a certain way. We have to go by the book. Otherwise, all of this is going to get messed up. There's no reason to not have a contract on someone.
Okay, so all of these things came to his attention directly by you and Gio. What was his response?
He was angry. He said, well, I guess I can't do it your way. And we kept trying to reiterate, it's not our way, it's the bank's way. We're not trying to be stubborn. There's codes when you build. It's not codes we came up with. Everybody has to build. Even if you put a porch on your house, you have to do it by code.
And at this time, were they living in the house with you?
At this time, they had a basement apartment under a family on the lake, Lake Louisa.
And then as a result of this confrontation at McDonald's, did you come to any realization with Gio about your father not being who you thought he was?
I saw an anger and a violence in his eyes I had never seen before. In the way he was speaking to Gio, and I saw how angry he was, and that was when he said, I'm done, I'm out. Basically, this mess is yours.
And after that, did y'all install video surveillance around your property?
Yes, we put up cameras. At that point, there was too much animosity. There was too much that was being done behind our backs that at that point we weren't feeling safe.
Did you put up video surveillance around your property?
Yes, cameras.
Okay. After that, was your video surveillance system ever altered or adjusted in any way by anybody other than yourself and your husband?
Yes, the camera cord to our security camera was cut.
How did you know how your camera system was cut and who cut it?
We were in the house. Jeff had been told to get all his stuff off the property because we were done. So he he was going into our garage, which is back behind our house. He was going into the garage to get his stuff. He noticed the camera, went behind our shed, cut the camera, and of course we knew he cut the camera because we're in the house, and the camera feed to one of the cameras goes out.
So you saw it with your own eyes, your father cutting the camera feed?
He was behind a shed.
Yeah.
So he walks behind the shed, the camera feed goes out, Geo goes out to check it, it's been cut.
All right. Now,
That,
in and around this time, tell the jury what time frame this is.
this is August of 2018.
Okay. Now, in and around this time, did you have a conversation with your father about life insurance on your husband?
He had, in one of his arguments with Geo, he had told Geo, Karen and I want to pay for $1 million life insurance policy for you. And of course, Geo thought that was odd. He has a job, he has life insurance. So he shared that with me. And I told Geo, I was like, I don't understand what's the thought process before that. He said, well, they mentioned the baby, you know, you have our firstborn, our son was gonna be born in November. And he said, but it was odd. It was during one of our conversations about the house. Like there was no, like my mom wasn't there. I wasn't there. Like, you know, if this was something that was really about the grandbaby, why was this coming up?
And this was during all the tensions.
It never came up until the fighting started.
Now, was there a conversation about a meal ticket? What was that about?
So a meal ticket.
You're messing up my meal ticket.
So with,
And if you don't,
yeah, I'm not recalling a meal ticket
Okay.
comment.
Was he upset that they weren't allowed to get $1 million policy on Geo's life?
He just seemed flustered. Like, you know, anytime we didn't agree with him, it was just, oh, well, you all are stupid. You know, so of course he was upset about it. We weren't agreeing.
Okay, we're going to pause for just a second because we're going to work on switching over. No, TCN, you need to go to the YouTube, the Court TV webpage. Go to the Court TV webpage because you're just looking at our stream. I can't hear you. Yeah, go to Court TV. You're muted, so I can't hear what you're saying, but go to Court TV. Click on, there you go. Okay, now go to 1 hour in. I'm walking her through it in the back, and then we're going to bring up her screen. Unmute so I can hear you. I can't hear you. I know. Hang on just a second, Cindy. We're trying to switch out the screens, but there you go. About an hour
Yeah.
in.
And so he'd say, oh, I made a run
Was
to
it?
Georgia.
Okay. Because you still have your microphone off, so I can't hear nothing you're saying. But make it big screen. Remember? There you go. That's it. There you go. Hit play. We're going to roll. I'm going to stop my camera and get ready to go. And but I'll be back in. Just give me a few minutes, okay? Hit play. Y'all go. I can't hear nothing you're saying because you got your microphone muted.
Okay.
Or I went to South Carolina yesterday.
Now, were you aware of any precautions that he took in order to go to Georgia to buy property to bring back and put in your yard?
He'd leave his cell phone with
Okay,
my
can you hear me
mom.
now?
How would she know that?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Objection.
Lay a foundation, be based on knowledge.
How do you know that he would leave his cell phone with your mother?
Through his own mouth, he would tell me.
Now, back to that, do you recall the incident with your mother leaving in the car that we were
Yes.
talking about earlier?
Yes.
All right. When was that?
It was shortly after all this was happening where he had called her to come pick him up.
Okay. Did she come pick him up?
She came, are you referring to so she came to pick him up the first time he was arrested?
I'm talking about the last time you ever saw him.
Judge, I need to.
I want to clear something up with you. We were talking about two different things. Your mother came to pick him up after you had called the sheriff's department out there because he had trespassed. Is that correct? Do you remember that event? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And when you said, when you had him arrested, you're talking about that misdemeanor trespass on your property, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that's clear. Was there a time where you tried to talk to your mother about these things?
Yes.
And what was her response?
Objection, Dr. Kearsley.
It's not.
I don't want to quote from it, just general attitude.
Yes. What did she do when you were attempting to try to get her attention?
I walked out to her car because she wasn't getting out of her car, and I said, "Mom, we need to have a conversation about what's happening." And she would not get out of her car. She was talking to me through the window, and she was.
Don't say anything that she said.
Okay.
What did she do?
She got a call from Jeff, and then she peeled out.
Okay. Was that the last meaningful contact you've had with your mother?
She has continued to text, now not in the past couple of years, but she would continue to send texts because we were able to get a no contact on Jeff, but not on her. So I would get little things from her, like heard y'all were in Texas, heard y'all had a baby girl, little plugs to let us know that, hey.
After that last contact with your mother, when y'all were actually in the same place there in Virginia, did you and your family move somewhere else?
Yes. So with what happened with the house, once we were able to finish it, we put it up for sale. It wasn't selling. We ended up having to sell our own home because, again, we couldn't make 2 mortgage payments.
Understood. Did y'all
So
move from that location?
we had to move.
What was the primary reason for you moving?
We moved initially because we had to sell our home, but then we were able to get jobs elsewhere so we could get away from it all.
Okay. Now, court's indulgence. Into the witness room. All right.
Thank you, Jeff. When you and your husband moved to Oak Island, North Carolina, Jeff and Karen lived elsewhere. That's a yes or no?
Yes.
They still lived on the farm in Pennsylvania.
In February of 2014, they got a beach rental in the town where we lived.
Now, you're not answering my question. When you and your husband moved to Oak Island, your mother and father still lived on the farm in Pennsylvania.
That's not correct.
Why is it not correct?
Because they moved to Oak Island. They rented an apartment in February
I understand
2014.
they moved to Oak Island. I'm getting there. But when you moved to Oak Island, they didn't live there on Oak Island.
And I hadn't married my husband at that point either, sir. When I moved to Oak Island and I bought a house in Oak Island, Gio wasn't even in the picture yet.
You were single. When you
That's
moved
correct.
to Oak Island, you were single.
That's correct.
And after you moved to Oak Island, let me back up. When you moved to Oak Island, your parents still lived in Pennsylvania.
That's correct.
And when they moved to Oak Island, you weren't married.
That's correct.
And when they moved to Oak Island, it's because you invited them to come.
I didn't stop them from coming.
Well-
I would definitely not phrase it as I invited them to pick up their 30-year life on a farm in Pennsylvania and
Well,
move to North Carolina.
you not only invited them, ma'am, they lived with you.
My husband wanted to help them, and I didn't want to be.
You weren't married. You just got through telling us when you moved to Oak Island, you were living alone. You were single.
When they moved in with us, we were married at that point.
Okay, so you moved. You asked your parents to move to Oak Island, and your husband agreed.
That's incorrect.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Your husband did not okay them moving in with him?
They moved in with us in August of 2014. I married my husband in June of 2014. My parents rented a place on Oak Island in February of 2014.
All right, so they moved there and were paying their own rent.
For a couple months, yes, sir, to the beach apartment. When they moved in with us, they didn't pay rent.
My point
That
is-
was the point.
Okay, all right. So your parents moved to Oak Island and rented their own place.
For a couple months. It was a month-to-month beach rental. This was not a place they could rent long-term.
You have more knowledge about your parents' business than any person I think I have ever heard of.
Wouldn't you
realize-
if they lived
Let
with
me
you?
finish.
I grew up with them, so my early life was with them. And then as an adult, they lived with me for 2 years
At your
and-
request.
at my husband's generous offer, sir.
At your request.
It wasn't my request. I've said that.
It was your husband's generous offer.
Correct.
And you are telling us that you didn't agree?
I agreed.
Or are you just letting your husband run the household?
No, sir. If you knew me, you'd know that wasn't the case.
Actually, Gio has a reputation for being very difficult, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't, sir.
Very demanding.
He's had a lot of honorable positions over the years, and we wouldn't be here if he wasn't an honorable man.
After your husband's generous offer, Karen and Jeff Spence lived with you, you said, for 2 years.
Correct.
And then you and Gio got jobs in Virginia.
Correct.
And when you moved, Jeff and Karen were still in Oak Island.
Jeff moved to Virginia before Karen because
You didn't listen to my question. When
I'm
you
listening,
and
sir.
when you and Gio moved to Virginia, Jeff and Karen still lived on Oak Island. Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. And they continued to live on Oak Island for a good while.
that's wrong.
Wrong in what way?
About a month after we moved to Virginia, Jeff showed up at the door, said, "Hey kids, I got a job here. Is it okay if I stay here?" So my mom continued to live on Oak Island.
For how long?
My dad very quickly moved back in with us in Virginia
For how long?
for a few months before we could sell the house.
So your parents stayed, or your parents and then your mother stayed on Oak Island in the house that you were trying to sell.
My mom stayed in the house that we eventually sold.
Until Jeff showed up at your front door in Orange, Virginia, he was in Oak Island as well, right?
For about a month.
That's what I said, okay? And they were helping you out by paying your mortgage payment in the house that you were trying to sell.
So they didn't,
You didn't listen to my question.
oh, I thought you wanted an answer.
I do want you to answer it. And basically, it's a yes or no answer, and then you can explain. When you and Gio moved to Virginia, your parents stayed in your house in Oak Island and made your mortgage payment, yes or no?
No,
So you were making a mortgage payment in Oak Island and you were making a rent payment in Virginia?
correct. And as I stated, again, Jeff was not staying in Oak Island. He was there for a month. My mom continued to stay. The last couple months, I believe it was 2 or 3 months before we sold the house, we asked for help with the mortgage payment because again, now we had 2 mortgages again. And she was staying at the beach house. She wanted to stay at the beach house until it was sold. We said, can you guys chip in a little bit for the mortgage payment? They did not pay the whole mortgage. And again, we're talking about 2 or 3 months before it sold.
They made payments. They made payments on your mortgage.
That's the only time we had to ask for help for them. And we were, again, that was in the middle of a move, career transitions. Jeff is already living with us in Virginia, and my mom is there so she can walk the dog on the beach and live in peace.
And how long before Jeff and Karen got the rental apartment in the basement on the lake in the gated community?
They moved, they got that around, we had moved into our cabin. We got our cabin in the summer of 2016. And they initially lived for a little while with us in that cabin, and then they found the apartment on the lake. So again, with the math, they lived with us, whether they lived in the rental with us and they lived with us in the Oak Island house and they lived with us in the Orange, Virginia cabin. It was 2 years before they moved to the lake.
And that's not the cabin that you were building. That's the cabin that was already built.
That was the cabin we bought for our family. Gio and I bought for our family. And again, we welcomed them into that home until we then said, hey, let's get you your own space.
So the cabin that was being built in stages was for Jeff and Karen.
Correct.
It wasn't for you and Gio.
It wasn't.
Okay. And you're being separated from your mother and father for what, 8 years, 7, 8 years, right?
About 7 years.
Originated with disputes over this cabin that Jeff and Karen were going to be living in.
Correct.
And Jeff and Karen were going to be paying for.
Yes, they were going to be making the mortgage payments. We had made that agreement.
That's not rocket science. It's a yes or no. They were going to be
Yes, sir.
They were going to be making mortgage payments.
Yes.
So it was a piece of property that was being developed in their interest. Yes?
In my parents' interest, yes, I'd say so.
Yes. And the falling out that you have had originated with that piece of property, that project, that cabin, that Jeff calls it a modular home. I don't know what a modular home is, but apparently it's a home that's built in stages. Is that right?
That's correct.
And it was going to be theirs, not yours, theirs. Yes?
It was going to be in our name because we were the ones getting the loan for it. So.
But it was going to be theirs in terms of where they would occupy private space.
They were going to live there.
That's what I just said. Occupy private space, live there, right?
Can you repeat that last part?
It was going to be their place, their private place, their home. It was going to be for them.
They were going to live there, yes.
And in the meantime, while this is being developed, Jeff and Karen didn't live in that cabin with you. They lived on a lake in a basement apartment they had found on their own. You had nothing to do with that.
That's correct.
And the falling out that has apparently caused so much, I don't know what to call it, that you feel so upset about, started over that modular home.
That was when we started to see his business side.
Well, your dad's business side, he gets things done.
I would call it con artistry, sir.
You would call it what?
Con artistry?
Your daddy would get things done, such as a well dug.
Yeah, whether it was the correct way or not.
Well, you don't know if it wasn't the correct way. Your dad got the way.
Sir, I grew up with that man. I know if it was the correct way or not.
You didn't have anything to do with getting the well done. He did that.
What he did, sir, was we had no contract in place. While Gio and I were both working a full-time job, something he's not familiar with, he had a well driller put the rig into our land with no contract, no insurance in place. I come home, and yes, sir, I was upset when I got home that day because I had a well being dug on my property. And I don't know if this guy was going to charge $2,000. I don't know if this guy was going to charge $200,000. There was no contract in place. There was just a man digging a hole in the property.
An experienced well digger who dug wells all over that neighborhood.
He didn't even have a location, sir. You couldn't even look him up. You couldn't find his license. You couldn't get him on the phone.
So it's the fact that the well got dug is beside the point to you.
That is something that still bothers me because the family that ended up moving into that home had to have a whole nother well dug.
Okay.
So another young family became a victim because it wasn't done right.
Have you been keeping a diary on all this over the years?
Do you remember things about your family, sir?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I ask you.
This has changed my life, sir.
And you.
The victims that have come out of the woodwork, even living in Virginia, 2 ladies were glaring at me in Walmart. And I found out it was the 2 ladies that he was working for as a contractor on their home. And he had messed up their entire house. He had to be let go from that job. And they had to hire a whole nother contractor. So now I'm getting hate stares in Walmart in my hometown, and I don't even know why.
Hate.
So this is personal to me, sir, because it has affected my life, and it has affected my husband's life and our children's
very
lives.
Personal to you, Ms. Aguayo, obviously, and I am absolutely overwhelmed by the detail that you can draw from years ago. As if you have been keeping a running check on your.
You're not experienced with people that have relatively good memories, sir?
When you and Gio were first moved to Virginia, your mama came after your daddy came, and y'all were all in agreement. You didn't say no, did you?
We didn't know they were doing anything wrong. Again, they had gone through bankruptcy. We thought we were trying to help. Who doesn't want to help their parents? They're going through.
I believe this ground has been plowed thoroughly. Ask and answer about why they moved in. About 15 questions about it.
I just want a yes or a no.
That's the question anyway.
Your father moved in with you in Orange, Virginia, followed by your mother a couple of months later. And you could say no, couldn't you?
I'm sorry, sir, but I think you want a yes or no answer, but that's not phrased in the way to give you a yes or no.
Well, you didn't say no, Ms. Aguayo.
They had permission to live with us. I mean, they weren't breaking into our home every night.
Thank you. They had permission. That's all I want you to say is you could say no and you didn't say
Objection,
no.
Your Honor. That is argument.
She answered the question. Move on.
And the animosity that you have exhibited since you got into this room this morning all stems from the building of that modular home and disagreements over that.
No, sir. My uncomfortableness with having to be in this courtroom is because that man over there is not even handcuffed. And you don't know, You don't know what it's like to move almost every year of your life and still get text messages from Karen, your mother, saying, hey, how's Texas? Or how's that new baby granddaughter? I would not communicate back with her. It's not like I was communicating back. She was letting me know, we know where you are. We know your kids.
How do you know your mother wasn't just expressing genuine affection for you?
Because if she had genuine affection for me, sir, she would have stopped this years ago. She would have stopped this years ago. She would have said, enough is enough. If I can't change that man, I'm going to leave that man. But she's part of it. So how are you going to leave someone when you're their partner? You're their Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay. Bonnie and Clyde, your mama's Bonnie?
They would joke about it.
Oh, come on.
She would bring him contraband when he was out on work release. Like that's not Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah, Judge, let me approach. I need you. You and Gio, even though the house that was being built, the modular cabin that was being built was for your parents, you and Gio wanted to control everything. Isn't that so?
If you had $178,000 loan in your name, would you want some control?
I ask you a question that's yes or no. You and Gio wanted to control everything, yes or no?
No.
Well, that's what the falling out was about, right?
No.
That's what the meeting at McDonald's was all about, right? And your father looked at you and said, your husband can be difficult himself, can he?
I would not agree with that, sir.
Pardon me?
I would not agree with that, sir.
All right. Well, on the day that you were going to meet at McDonald's, where you did meet at McDonald's, and this all came to a head, Gio was demanding that it take place on his couch in his basement apartment, not McDonald's.
We wanted Karen to be a part of the conversation.
And Gio went to your mother and father's apartment and broke into the apartment and sat on the couch himself and demanded that Karen call Jeff and come and sit on that couch because Gio said so.
That's a lie.
That's a question. And you can answer it yes or no?
He did not. That's a no.
I think that's a lie is a no. I think that qualifies as a no.
And your mother was home in bed. You do acknowledge that your mother has serious health issues, right?
I acknowledge she has self-diagnosed health issues when it's convenient for her. She rallies real quick when she's needed by dad.
You're accusing your mother of being a hypochondriac?
Growing up with that woman, I know that I would disagree with her calling herself ill. We'll put it that way. I know you want me to keep it short. That woman's not ill.
You don't think that your mother's migraine headaches are real?
People have headaches, sir.
Migraine headaches.
Yes, migraine headaches. People have migraine headaches.
I didn't ask you if people had migraine headaches. Ms. Aguayo, I asked you if you disagree that your mother is a migraine sufferer.
She would have migraine headaches, yes.
And have you ever had a migraine?
She was not in bed that day. When Gio knocked on the door, she was sitting on the couch.
Really? Were you seeing from afar? How do you know?
I communicate with my husband, sir. I think most people do.
How do you
Now, I was, as mentioned, I was very pregnant with my son. So I didn't, because they wouldn't even, I didn't walk back into where they lived. My husband did. I'm calling my mom on the phone saying, Mom, you need to know what's going on. This affects your life too.
Let's get that down pat. You didn't walk in, your husband did. Your husband went from the gate on the gated community through the woods, around the fence.
Oh no, so this is a gated community. There's no woods he's walking through. This is a paved road. He's walking down a road. He's knocking on a door where a family lives above them, by the way. We're not breaking into a home. We're knocking on a door, seeing a lady sitting on a couch that's supposed to be in bed with a migraine. And she's not picking up her phone when her daughter's calling her.
You weren't with him.
That's correct, sir. As I mentioned, I was about 6 or 7 months pregnant at that time. I'm not schlepping back 2 miles into a gated community because my mom can't be bothered to open the gate because she doesn't want to see the next mess that he's made.
So your husband walked 2 miles into a gated community where he was not invited, he was not permitted, he didn't live there, he bypassed the gate, and he walked 2 miles because he said so. That's where the meeting was supposed to take place because Gio said so.
If you can't get in touch with someone on the phone, particularly your mother-in-law, do you think that maybe you might want to go check on her and see why she's not picking up her phone?
No, not if you.
Wow.
Your mother is quite capable of making a phone call if she needs help.
I thought you just said she was very ill, sir.
Your mother is very ill.
But she doesn't need checked on?
Let's move on.
All right, Joe.
But what she's saying right now is she don't really care about her mom anyways. So she's just contradicting herself through this whole thing on this cross exam. She is not. I don't know what happened between her and her family, but it was not good. It just was not good. This is crazy. I have never ever. I lost my parents many years ago, and I'd be tickled pink to have my mom and dad in my life. I don't care what they did. I'm always gonna love my parents, even my sister, my daughter. We just love our family. That's the way I was brought up, I guess. I don't know where she was brought up at, but wow. Okay, here we go.
When's the last time you actually had a civil conversation with mom or dad?
December of 2018, I tried to have a conversation with my mom. My son was about a month at that point. They had missed all the initial baby things. And of course, with Jeff, we had a no contact order. But with my mom, I said, can you fix this? Can you do something so that, we can be a family?
Well,
And that didn't go well. Being a grandmother was not as important to her as, continuing with Jeff. And I'll be careful how I phrase it.
So you didn't want to have anything to do with your mother because she loved her husband and saw him.
Absolutely not, sir.
Let me finish. And saw her husband as her life partner. And you wanted to rule. You and Gio always want to rule the roost, don't you?
No, sir, that's very incorrect. Who would invite someone into their home if they wanted to rule the roost? Like that's not, those aren't the kind of hearts that like, I got to be in control of everything and I got to be in charge. Like you don't let people into your little circle of control if you want to rule a roost. None of what you're saying makes sense.
Well, it was your home.
Your Honor.
Y'all had a fight over a modular home that
Objection.
Hang on a second. You got an objection?
Yes, sir. It's ask and answer. We've plowed this ground many, many
As I
times.
said earlier, let's move on.
I think I can ask you this question safely. You don't have respect for your mother, do you?
That's incorrect, sir.
You don't.
I love my parents. I love my sister. I love my family that have, like my family in Pennsylvania that I don't talk to anymore. I love them all. The love doesn't change. But getting my children and my husband out of danger's way, out of harm's way, that is more important to me than being able to pick up the phone and say, oh, mama, you'll never guess what the baby did today. It's either that or I continue to put my husband and leave him with a target on his back after he's been threatened. I won't do that, sir. I love my husband. And that's it. So I will give up a phone call with my mama.
A target on your husband's back? Who put the target on your husband's back?
Jeff,
In what way?
he has offered to put $1 million life insurance policy on him. We had a recording device in our garage where he says, after we've called the sheriff, he says, look up along that walkway. You'll see a dead man walking. I'm coming for you, son. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into.
Jeez. All right.
It's all recorded.
Well, I've never heard it, okay?
It wasn't allowed.
You don't have any respect and love for your father either, do you?
Love? Yes. After understanding what he has done over the years and seeing what he's done, respect, no.
Let me ask you this. You have children, I've heard you refer to, yes? You have children, yes?
Yes.
Small children.
Your Honor,
I'm not comfortable talking about my kids in front.
To $100,000. With respect to $100,000 or $1 million life insurance on your husband, do you, Ms. Aguayo, not think it's reasonable and responsible for a parent like David Hill to insure myself for my children's benefit in the event that something happens to me?
Absolutely.
Yes or no? I don't want to lecture. I want you to tell these folks whether or not you think it's reasonable.
Objection.
Yes.
You think it's, you think?
Yes, I upped my life insurance policy to attend here today, sir, because I want my kids taken care of.
Well, that's a responsible parent, isn't it?
Yes, and as I mentioned, both of us had life insurance at that time. We were not going to be leaving our baby son with nothing should something happen to us. We both already had life insurance. The curious part is why they felt at that need when we started arguing to up his life insurance policy.
Well, you know, Ms. Aguayo, would it surprise you to know that I'm a grandparent and I have given the same advice to all three of my children?
Have you offered to pay for it, sir, in the middle of an
Objection,
argument?
Your Honor. Objection. I don't think that was a question.
I'll let her respond. She had a response.
Can you rephrase it in the form of a
I
question?
think you can respond.
I ask it in a question form, Judge.
You can respond. You can say yes or no and then explain your answer.
I think the issue, Ms. Aguayo, concerning life insurance is not who pays for it, but who the beneficiary is. Would you agree?
If you feel like you're going to be able to convince your daughter that this was all an accident and then you do benefit because you move back into the cabin with your new grandbaby, then I'd say you are benefiting if that's your end term goal, sir. Get him out of the picture. This now becomes my house.
Very, very short.
All right, let's go and have it then.
You were talking about family in Pennsylvania. Who is Doug Spence?
My dad's younger brother.
Okay. Now, do you have as far as the relationship with Jeff, and you and Gio, we get the picture. And I believe, but are you aware of how Jeff would communicate with Doug?
He has helped him with counsel over the years. A lot of times they use code to talk about things in our family. So like,
What do you mean by that? Code.
well, when you don't want, if you're outside and you don't want someone to overhear you, you just say, oh, well, sure do remember that time we were, fishing with Dad in his favorite fishing hole, and remember that tree he used to sit at all the time. Conversation that appears to be about a memory is not about a memory.
It's about something else.
It's letting the brother know.
No, this is not a problem for me to read.
I'm through, Your Honor.
All right, I'll agree. All right. Can this witness be finally excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're finally excused. You can welcome to stay. You're free to go, whichever one you like to do, okay? All right, let's take about a 10 or 15 minute break. Y'all get ready, let us know. Y'all come with us.
All right, so we'll just zoom. Let's see, I'm not real good at this yet, guys. So it might take me a minute. What is this, like a lunch break or something? Oh, did I?
No, it's a 15-minute break. Should be. So it shouldn't take you but just a few minutes.
Jesus, where did you come from?
Did I scare the shit out of you?
Yes.
I'm on my phone. I told you I could turn the camera on too.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
See, look at that. See, I'm still here. I'm just in my car. Go ahead.
God, I was like, what the heck?
I'm learning.
You're coming through my computer. You're stalking me.
Okay, I'm muting. Go ahead.
Okay. Should I go a little bit further or just wait?
You could probably just wait. It's just going to take them a second to actually start talking.
Oh, the state rest. Okay, yeah. I can't, for some reason, I can't message on your thing. It'll come up that I can't message. So you're going to have to put on your side if you can.
I can't do anything until I get home with any of that. Any of the pinned messages and stuff. I can't fix any of that on the road.
Yeah, I can't pin no messages, and I can't type on your side either for some reason. Okay, stay.
I'm lurking in the background. I'm scaring myself. See, y'all have had. I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning.
Oh, are you on the
Instead
screen?
of Big Brother, we got
for just a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna bring it back out, make some decisions how we're gonna proceed.
Okay, let me go to your channel and see if I can.
We got some stuff I gotta take care of out here.
I just know I won't be able to pin it.
Okay, because I believe the next thing they're going to do is they will talk to him and ask Mr. Jeffrey Spence if he wants to. And then the defense system.
Let me see if I can pin. Nope, I can't pin it on your channel. I can't even unpin. Oh wait, dismiss.
All right, I believe the defense will have a motion at this time.
Okay, let me do this and let me try this. Nope. I can unpin it, but can't.
Now, the defendant Jeffrey Spence, and respectfully moves the court to enter an order of directed verdict of not guilty. And in support of that motion, I will say the following. We're here on a murder case happened in Tippah County, Mississippi, on on or about November 30th, 2022. The question remains after the government has had all week to put on evidence. The question still remains, who killed Kirby Carpenter? Who killed Kirby Carpenter? There have been just about everybody in Tippah County, and we do not know, and they have not proven to the most minimal legal standard that Jeff Spence had anything to do with it. Jeff Spence has not had anybody place him in Tippah County, Mississippi on November 30th. Nobody has placed a murder weapon in his hands. They have no proof in terms of fingerprints. They have no proof in terms of any standard forensic evidence. And the question remains, as outstanding here, who killed Kirby Carpenter? I don't think the state knows. I don't think the state will ever know. And I think when I told the jury on Monday that they selected somebody to be an accused, that's exactly what we had. We had a selected accused person, and they have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Jeff Spence not only is guilty, they haven't even proven that he has anything at all to do with this case. He was in Tippah County in Kirby Carpenter's home for weeks. He and his wife helping with the newborn baby. They undisputedly left Tippah County Tuesday afternoon, November 29th. Arrived home in the southwest Virginia area around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on November 30th. We have a electronic message rendered from a conversation actually between Caitlin Spence and Karen Spence, Jeff's wife, and Caitlin's mother. At about 8 p.m. on November the 30th. The subject of that conversation is what Dad had been doing today. He was working in the yard, he worked inside. He's grilling hamburgers. Apparently he's good at hamburger grilling, and the next sentence from Caitlin is, well, I know how much you miss this hamburger because they've been in Mississippi so far. The conversation is obviously about Jeff Spence, and he just got up from a nap and worked hard all day, fixing hamburgers for supper, for dinner, because that's in response to Caitlin's question, what are y'all having for dinner? That place is, he's not cooking dinner at Kirby Carpenter's house, he's cooking dinner at his own house in Virginia. There's just nothing to tie him at the operative time here. He didn't cook dinner in Virginia around 8 o'clock and kill Kirby Carpenter at 7 o'clock. It's just not possible. It's too far. It's 800 miles, 10 hours. That's the truth. Other proof is like the trash we just got through here from a strange daughter full of animosity and hate. Doesn't mean that she's replacing what she's talking about is 10 years ago, not now, not 2022. And other than her, they don't have any witnesses that ties to the property, ties to the deed, ties to anything, ties to this case. It's a case that merits not going to the jury, and I'm asking the court to give us a directed verdict.
All right. Not here to stay.
We state submits that we prove the case. Court obviously has to take this in the light most favorable to the state. And we've had testimony that contradicts everything that Mr. Hill has said, primarily through Caitlin, who had a conversation with the father, where he admitted to her that he killed Kirby Carpenter. Not only that, we have Kirby's property in his possession, custody, and control. And, the taking all the proof in light and favorable to the state, with all the testimony that has occurred, the investigation, the witnesses that have taken the stand, this man stands before the court as the state has proven each and every element of the crime.
All right. Every time I have a criminal trial, I make me a checklist of what elements there must be proof of, and I've done so in this case. I think the state has made a prima facie case as to meets all those elements. They've ID'd the defendant, they've established venue, they've established that Kirby Carpenter was living, and they established that Kirby Carpenter died, and when that took place, it was a result of a shooting, and there's evidence of a robbery had been set forth, and I'm going to deny your motion for a directed verdict. There's been some evidence on every element of the crime charge, and it'll be up to the jury to decide if that some evidence is enough evidence, and we will, that'll be at the jury to make this determination. And we will, that'll be at the jury to make this determination. Do you need a minute to, y'all talk and decide how you want me to proceed as far as the defense case, okay?
We'll do so right now.
Do what?
We'll do so right now.
Y'all do that now as well, okay?
I don't like when they keep muting everything and then we can't actually hear.
You can use my chambers if you like to.
Well, I think we have.
Wherever you want to, y'all just,
Okay, I guess we're gonna go talk to him a minute. Court's on a break and judge is sitting there playing with his phone.
the defense wish to call in and not force you to testify.
Okay, here we go. This is what I want to see. We're gonna talk to him and tell him he can testify.
Mr. Spence, these comments are directed to you, not necessarily to your attorney. At this time, the state has announced that they have rested. In other words, now it's time for the defense to put on any witnesses if they want, and those witnesses can include you. I want you to know that you have the absolute right to be sworn in, sit in the witness chair and testify if you like to. The decision about whether you wish to testify or not testify is your decision, and your decision is alone. I would encourage you to consult with your attorney in making that decision, but if you want to testify, myself, the district attorney's office, even your own attorney cannot stop you from testifying. You have the absolute right to testify, and you can if you wish to. On the other hand, if you do not wish to testify, no one can make you testify. I can't. District attorney's office, your own attorney cannot force you to testify. If you do choose not to testify, the jury will be instructed that the fact that you did not testify cannot be used as any evidence whatsoever that you were guilty of any crime, because we all have the right to remain silent. But whether you choose to testify or chose not to testify does not change the fact that the state bears the burden of proving that you are guilty, and you never have to prove that you're not guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
Have you consulted with your attorney and reached a decision on whether you wish to testify in your own defense or not?
I did consult with my attorney.
Have you made that decision?
I have.
And what is that decision?
I do not want to testify.
All right. Mr. Hill, do you agree with y'all had a discussion on that and reached that decision?
We have discussed it more than once over the past several months, more than once today, and we are on the same page. Yes.
All right. All right. At this time, I'm going to bring the jury in. Do you wish to call, does the defense wish to call any witnesses?
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to let you bring the jury back in. I'm going to let you rest in front of the jury. And I think we've all agreed that we've got a lot of stuff to do on jury instructions and preparing closing arguments, and I have caught us a little, I think all a little about surprised how fast we've wrapped up here today anyway. I'm going to excuse the jury until 9 o'clock Monday morning. We'll come back then, have jury instructions ready, be prepared for closing statements, and begin deliberation, okay? We'll talk about how long, let's talk about jury instructions after, let's talk about them shortly, then go to lunch, and then come up and finish jury instructions after lunch, okay? All right. Show the jury in.
Okay, well, we will not.
Did he just say shove the jury in?
This is what it sounded like. It didn't. It said show the jury, but it sounded like shove the jury in. But yeah, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna stick around and watch all their little talking about jury instructions and stuff like that. That's look at it. Did you see that? He put his cell phone away. I told y'all he was playing with his cell phone. Look, watch. Here, give me just a second. Look, he put it in his shirt pocket. He was playing with his cell phone.
Arrested. Snap.
Okay. And then we're going to let them rest and him dismiss the jury, and then we'll be done for the day. So just hold up.
Having rested, it's now the defense opportunity to present witnesses if they choose to do so. Who would the defense call as its first witness?
Your Honor, at this time, I'm announcing for the defense that we rest.
All right. That means you've heard all the testimony you're going to hear in this case. Quite frankly, we're not ready for your closing arguments and jury instructions. We're going to have to, we'll spend a good bit of time getting jury instructions together and letting these people form their closing arguments. If we got that done, it'd probably be 5 or 6 o'clock this evening before you got to start deliberating. I'm not going to make it work at 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon, start your deliberation. What I'm going to do, you got...
Your Honor, just for the record, state I don't rest.
Okay. I'm going to let you go home. Be back in the jury room at 9 o'clock in the morning. Not in the morning, excuse me. He's Monday morning. I voted for tomorrow. I voted for tomorrow morning, but I got about voted by everybody at the courthouse anyway. Somebody want to go to ball games and such as that anyway. But be back at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. Always something.
Did y'all hear him? Always something when he asked if we could approach. Sir, this judge is a complete mess sometimes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, I've been unmuted this whole time. Oh yeah, this judge. How did he get to be a judge?
I really.
They are not professional at all.
In the jury room at 9 o'clock Monday morning. I want you to pay special attention today. You've got a long break between now and Monday morning. Stay away from the news. Anything you see pop up on Channel 9 or Facebook or any website or meeting somebody on the street that said, I heard you had jury duty. What do you think about it? You've got to avoid it. Don't form any opinions. Don't express any opinions. Don't talk about the case. Don't even let anybody talk about the case with you. That includes your husbands and your wives, your kids, anyone else. Don't attempt to investigate the case. Don't go home and Google anything. Don't look up any law. Just leave your mind just like it is now. Know what you know when you come back Monday. Know what you know right now, and not anything else. Don't think anything. Just keep your mind. Keep away from anything. Now, I know I can count on y'all to do that. There's 3 of you. There's alternates. I'm going to ask y'all to come back too, because if one of the original 12 were to get sick over the weekend, I need you there as backup still anyway. Y'all, I'm going to let you go out. Nobody at the jury I don't have any reason to think, suspect in any way, that anybody will try to contact you about your jury service. If they do, you let the court know about it, okay? Thank y'all. See y'all Monday morning.
Okay, well, with that, we are going to end for the day. Good Lord. Whew, that was big up there on screen. Scares me when I make myself that big sometimes. Yeah, so that was it for today. We will return on Monday, 3 o'clock. I have the stream set for 3 o'clock. I am supposed to take Mom to the doctor, so I may start earlier because Mom does have a doctor's appointment Monday. So I may end up starting at 1 on Monday also, just to be able to make it around the doctor's appointment and stuff. I will let y'all know more on that over the weekend to set it up. So with that, I want you all to have a great rest of your weekend. I am going to lay down because I got 3 hours sleep this morning before I had to go do my infusion. And yeah, I've been on the go all day. So with that, TCN.
Have a good weekend. Bye, everyone. Well, I have to put my computer up because the speakers are on the bottom. That's why I'm having a hard time hearing.
Oh, okay, I get you. Well, then do you need to use your headphones?
Yeah, I'm going to. I just didn't want to get out. We're closing out, so.
I hear you. All right. Okay. Yes. And Cindy even said, thank you. You did great.
Thank you.
We appreciate you today. So
Thank
with that,
you, Renee.
Yes, Renee was great in here. Christine's been in here. I know that Denise has been in and out. I appreciate everybody being here. So with that, I want you all to know you are loved, appreciated. You are important, and I want you to have a great rest of your weekend. Till Monday. Peace.
All right.
Bye.
Life's a ride on a rickety old train.